we start the practical side or live demonstration, we thought a quick recap of how the data is processed and used would be useful. So imagine the red block is a server and all the trip data, asset state data, events, including zone entries and exits, digitals, overspeeding data, it all gets processed by the analytics server. It's a standalone server, and the idea is that the outputs are in the forms of totals and averages. So how far has a fleet of vehicles driven? How far has a vehicle driven? How active is a vehicle? How many hours a day is it active for? How long is it active for? And then you can compare individual vehicles against the fleet by using the averages. Other things like how many times are the cargo doors open and closed? How many times are zones being entered and exited? So simply put, the data is collected and managed, and the outputs are the totals and averages that you see. The data itself is collected and managed in what we call buckets, and a bucket is 24 hours represented by the blue clocks. So from midnight to midnight, the data is collected, and the total for the 24 hours and the average for the 24 hours is collected and computed. So the smallest bucket you can get is 24 hours. The midnight to midnight is set up, and how the server knows about the midnight to midnight is because you set the time zone on a client. That is the time zone we use and the server uses to push the data out by midnight. Now, there are some other pieces of information that we thought was useful. So there are constant values in the analytics tool. Things like the totals and the averages or the value, those are constant. Those are always there. The time is always there. It's a question of which time frame are you running a report over and which time frame is the widget set up to. Asset data, or the assets themselves, are always in the background because the data comes from the assets. However, you can choose what you would like to see other than time and assets on the x-axis. So things like cost centers, the events, alerts, profiles, states, and zones. And we'll get into that when we do the reports. Those can be used to show events per asset, events per time, for example. So let's now delve into the tool itself. We've split this up into two parts. The first part will define each piece of the tool and what they do. The second part will be a practical overview describing how to use the tool optimally to get the best results. So part one, what is the analytics tool made up of and what does each piece do? The first part is a dashboard. A dashboard is a placeholder, for lack of a better word. Think of it as a place to park a widget or pin a widget. Secondly, a widget. A widget is merely a data holder, and this is pinned to the dashboard, and this piece of kit, this widget, updates every day. Thirdly, the report. The report is used to generate the data. Once you've generated the data, you have a report output like this, which is used to create a widget. So we're going to show you how to do that. And right now, it probably looks like something like that. It's a bit all over the place. So how do we order these? Well, firstly, you create a dashboard or a placeholder. Secondly, you run an analytics report. Thirdly, you edit the report output to create a widget, and that widget, represented in number 4, gets shared to the dashboard created in number 1, ultimately creating a picture of the data like this. So there are 4 widgets on one dashboard representing different data. So there are also other tools available on each widget. These are highlighted in the picture before you. From left, they are the share tool. You can share a widget to another dashboard. Secondly, the delete tool. You can delete a widget. Thirdly, the reporting tool. This is a quick view of the report used to run and build your widget from. This is used to edit the same widget, share it back to another dashboard, and also grab the data as a CSV export. This is a lot easier than going to try and find the report which you used to build the widget, which you may have run weeks ago. Lastly, there is an editing tool. This edits the widget, and we will see when we do the practical how this and the report editing tools look exactly the same. Lastly, dashboards can be saved as templates. Templates are saved at a vendor or distributor level, can be made public so that your customers can use them. When a customer opens a template, their data in their client account populates the widget. So to stress that, you can build one dashboard in a client, save it as a template, and then another client can log in, open that same template in their client account, and their data will populate the dashboard or template. So what that means is you can build bespoke templates for your customers that they don't have to go and learn how to use the analytics tool. You tell them, choose from template, choose this template, and away you go.